icebreaker, so I need y'all to stand up, get in a circle. And then grab hand of the person across from you. And you're going to have to try to unwind and become like a normal spot. You'll have 10 minutes to do it. I'll tell y'all when to start.
As a group, yeah.
As a group.
And you grab like random.
Okay, hold on.
Stay here and then just grab like those two. Grab her hand.
It's okay.
And
Hold on, wait.
5,
Grab one of his
4.
We can start.
Okay, look, you got 10 minutes to figure it out.
Take
5,
that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so you need to get hands on the outside, so if y'all can turn it.
Hold on, I have 2 more people.
You got 2 more guys.
Oh,
Find the space.
I think I need to
It's
go.
icebreaker, guys.
I guess I'll say.
Can we just watch?
No.
I did that.
So y'all need to go like under. Okay, hold on. Chris, Cody, where's your head? I'm right here. There's like y'all two need to go over there.
Oh,
Y'all been through there?
did not know that.
Well, I was talking to John, so I don't know.
Okay, so this one needs to go this way. Like, you guys need, all you guys need to come over there.
But they need to come like over
They'll
these
be on the
hands.
outside, 3 of you. All 4 of them.
Can y'all put their hands over here?
Allison, where's your other, is that the bottom?
These two.
So what if we all get that?
They possible?
I don't know if I can.
You need to come over here. I think that all those people need to go.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Nope, that's not good. Okay, well, I can go now.
Making progress.
Okay, now hold on.
I've never played this.
Really?
Progress.
Okay,
These
so
2
what?
right here just need to go behind all those people.
Okay, so you have to go behind Daniela.
So when it gets to
Jordan.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then, alright. Yeah.
That'll work.
Madison, come with me. Okay.
Step over on.
Okay. Watch your toes. Alright, I feel like you need a spanner or something. I don't know what the deal is here. Let me go over it now.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Oh, they got it.
Wait.
This way.
And then go that way. And then spin. That was fast. I'm really? I've never actually done it until we got out of it before. Really? I never seen it that fast. Alright. Good job, guys.
Okay, so now everyone's going to take a little piece of paper in here. Do not open it. We're not going to open it until the end of class. Just take one.
Are these for prizes?
They're not prizes. Oh, it's a prize, all right. Yeah. Just don't open it.
I hope there's enough.
Professor View, you also have one, but I gave you a special one. You can't open it either.
I'll be sure to
Okay,
feel
so
special.
now we're going to start our session. So we have chapter 8, which is self-help, and it's me, Nikki, Amber, and Emily, and we're going to finish us off tomorrow. Okay, so beginning we have a scripture first, which is 1 Peter 4:10. Each one should use whatever gift he has received to serve others faithfully, administering God's grace in its various forms. And I chose this scripture just because God has, like, we're also called to be married, so we obviously have like a heart and an open mind to take in others and help others in giving. And God has obviously blessed each and one of us with that gift, so that we may administer to others in different forms and just help and serve, which are what we're here to do on earth anyway. Okay, and then we're gonna do stock content, and Nikki's gonna start us off with definitions and characteristics. Amber's gonna do the classifications. I will do the benefits and linkage. Then tomorrow we will have I guess Monday we will have a skit for you guys. And then Emily's gonna finish us off with starting a health group, and then everybody's gonna do online groups. And then I'll pass it on to Nikki.
Hi y'all, I'm Nikki, and I'm going to tell you about the definition of self-help groups and also some of the characteristics. So, I'm going to start out with saying that self-help groups are diverse, and it's really hard to put a cookie-cutter definition on there, but just like Central defines self-help groups as self-help groups, also known as mutual help, mutual aid, or support groups, are groups of people who provide mutual support for each other. In self-help, the members share a common problem, often a common disease or addiction, and their mutual goal is to help each other deal with, and if possible, to heal or recover from this problem. In essence, self-help groups are made up of members that all share a common problem, and they're led by a non-professional who is also wrestling with the same issue or problem. And a social worker or another professional can step in and help with the development or the sponsorship of the group. And some of the characteristics of a self-help group are that self-help groups tend to disregard organizational structure and institutional distinctions. They kind of just throw that out and focus on everyone's problems instead. Members give and receive help, and they also are ultimately responsible for each other's problems and performing leadership tasks and accomplishing the group's goals. Also, another characteristic of self-help groups are that they are self-sufficient in that they don't solely rely on government funding or foundation grants or fees from the public. They mostly thrive off of donations from their friends and family. And a final characteristic, which is last but not least, is that self-help groups create a sense of empowerment in that whenever you give help and you're helping one another, there's a sense of empowerment you have from taking control of important aspects of your lives. And from this can stem motivation, energy, and personal growth that comes from, there's a saying, giving is better than receiving. So when you give help, you're actually receiving help. Okay, and to illustrate this, I have a video, and you all may or may not be familiar with it, but it's a self-help group.
Quite a distance though. Those balloons can be a bit dodgy. You wouldn't want one of them to pop. Wake up, Tom!
There you are, Bruce, finally.
We got company.
Well, it's about time, mate.
We've already gone through the steps and I'm still starving.
We almost had a feeding fritz.
Come on, let's get this over with.
Right then, the meeting has officially come to order. Let us all say the pledge. I am a nice shark, not a mindless eating machine. If I am to change this image, I must first change myself. Fish are friends, not food.
Except stinking dolphins.
Dolphins? Yeah, I think they're so cute. Look at me, I'm a flippin' little dolphin. Let me flip for you, ain't I? Something.
Right then, today's meeting is step 5. Bring a fish friend. You all have your friends?
Got mine.
How about you, Chuck?
Oh, well, I seem to have misplaced my friend.
backward step, you can help yourself to one of my friends.
Oh, thanks, mate. A little something, shall I?
I'll start the testimonies. Hello, my name is Bruce.
Hi, Bruce.
It has been 3 weeks since my last fish. On my honour, or may I be chopped up and made into soup.
You're an inspiration to all of us.
Right then, who's next?
Oh, Pippi.
Yes, the little Sheila down the front. Come on up here.
Hi, I'm Dory.
Hello, Dory.
Well, I don't think I've ever eaten a fish.
Hi, that's
Good on you, mate.
I'm glad I got that off my chest.
All right, anyone else? Hello, how about you, mate? What's your problem?
Me? I don't have a problem.
Oh, okay. Denial. Just start with your name.
Okay. Hello. My name is Marlin. I'm a clownfish.
clownfish, really?
Go on, tell us a joke.
Oh, I love jokes.
Well, I actually do know one that's pretty good. There was this mollusk, and he walks up to a sea cucumber. Normally they don't talk sea cucumbers, but in a joke, everyone talks. So the sea mollusk says to the cucumber, Nemo.
Nemo. Nemo. I don't get it.
Clown.
Okay, that was an example of a Fishaholics self-help group. We'll just do it this way. Okay.
Okay, now it's my turn. I have the classification of self-help group, and the first one, there's two. The first one is Katzenbender classification, and they have 4 qualifications for this one. And it's, the first one is groups that focus on self-fulfillment or personal growth. So can anyone think of an example of what this would be like, or what kind of organization this would pertain to? Well, an example that I came up with is like the AA meetings, or Gamblers Anonymous, or like Weight Watchers. Those would be examples. And then a second one would be groups that focus on social advocacy. Can anyone think of an example for that? Nope. Alrighty. It's like welfare and stuff to help people with like financial needs. They help families, individuals, and small groups. Another one is groups who focus to create alternative patterns for outcast people. Now, can anyone think of an example for this one? Some people, groups that are outcast. Yeah, that could be one.
Rehab.
Yep. Well, the ones that I thought of were like gay people or religion cults. And then the last one is like a mix of all other 3 mixed together. So like an example would be Parents Without Partners. That's focus on personal growth and like helps them with like social events. Or like a local one that we have in town would be like Building Bridges, where they help families get on their feet and then just like get their GED or like get the stuff they need to be successful. The second classification is Powell's classification, and the first one is Habitat Disturbance Organization, and this is similar to the first one in Katzenbender, so it focuses on like individual needs. So like an example would be like AA meetings, Weight Watchers, Smoker Stoppers. Next one is General Purpose Organization, and they address like underrange problems, so like emotional instability or parents who are of abused children. The third one is lifestyle organizations, and they support those that are viewed as different. So just like the third one and the previous ones, like gays, widows, people that are different. And then the fourth one, physical handicap organizations. They focus on like chronic illnesses. So like cancer, different things like that. And then the last one, significant other organizations. It's like, have you seen the show Tough Love on VH1? No? Well, that's what that is. Like, they just try to help. It's like both classifications are similar to each other. The last ones are just a mixture of a mixture of all the other organizations together. And then, Daisha.
Okay, so now we're going to be talking about benefits of the self-help group, which is basically like what they get out of it, how can one another help the other, the impact they have on each other as a group or as an individual. So, self-help groups help emphasize suggestions to groups that they actually have a problem. A lot of us like here that really don't have like real problems, we have trouble like admitting that we actually have a problem. The second one is testimony to the group, recounting their past experiences with the problem and their plans for handling the problem in the future. The third one is the requirement of membership, in which basically this one is that if they're going through anything or if they're alone and they have like a sense of urge of something, like if someone has like a drinking problem or like any like kind of problem like that, they feel like the urge is coming on, then they're able to call someone, a certain member of the group, and they may come with them and help them, like sit with them and help them get through the urge without actually doing it. And so that goes along with what self-help groups do. Okay, benefits from help therapy principle. Help gain psychological rewarding by helping others. So it makes them feel good and worthwhile. We all get that feeling, just like when we go and volunteer at certain places like Boys and Girls Club. I'm pretty sure everyone has done it before. So it gives you like a sense of urge, like on the inside, like a positive feeling that makes you feel good about yourself and makes you feel like that you actually belong. The second part is enables the helper to put his or her own problem in perspective. So that is like a big thing for like self-help groups, is that they learn from each other and they see how the other person gets through certain things. So they actually put their problems like into perspective of how they can get out of it or how bad the situation is. Helbert and Lawson actually started a like direct study of social work practice. And so the first part they had is having a reference group with shared common problems with those who accept them. So you're more like relatable with people who don't judge you, who have the same problem you have, and that just accept one another. The second part is gaining hope based on knowledge of others and with similar experiences and difficulties with coping successfully with them. So if Jordan have a problem and she gets through it and I have that same problem, then I have that sense that I will also get through it also. Maybe not in the same way, but there's a sense that I will actually get through it. So successful like of others helps that person get through their situation. Confronting problems head on and accepting responsibility for them as a result of confrontation by other members. So when you just finally admit that you have a problem and you kind of like don't go backwards and go forward only, then it's the easier route of getting through the situation. Putting their problems in perspective and applying knowledge and skills derived from experiences shared by others. So basically the same thing as learning through others of how they actually cope with things and how they get through them in certain ways. And then you have Bowman his 5 therapeutic factors, and as you can see, if you're following through with your outline, there are some blank spaces by these 5 parts, and you have to write down the definition of these 5 parts. So, the first one is cognitive restructuring. Emily, can you read the definition for me, please? It's on the board.
Okay, members develop a new perspective on themselves and their problems. Did you get this?
So basically, this one is just finding a new way to deal with your situation, to put your problem in perspective, and to rethink it all, like to think more positive about it and not so much negative about it. Okay. Second one, Madison, can you read this one for me?
Members develop hope that their lives will be better as they see that the lives of others with similar problems.
Okay. Some of the same things that we face on a daily. We just have that one person in our lives maybe, or you have that one vision that keeps your dreams alive, that keeps your hope on the inside, that you will get through the problem. You have that partner in crime. Everybody's done? Okay. Kim, can you read this one for me?
Members feel good about themselves for helping others.
Okay, that's altruism. We all feel that sometimes. In this picture, this guy is like giving this, I guess it's a girl, his shoe. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know her, but giving to others is like what God has put us on this earth to do, serve others. This thing says, helping other people can be a cure, not just for those who are in need, but for your soul as well. So it kind of helps you on the inside when you give back to others. Okay, acceptance. Retro, can you read this one for me?
Members feel they will not be rejected or blamed for their problems.
And we all can, in a group, it's easier to talk when you feel accepted by the other people in the group. No one, and make sure that you put no one before you, or also that you don't put yourself behind anyone else also, because obviously you're all there for the same reason. So when you accept one another and not judge one another, then it's easier to talk about things and to trust one another. Last one. We have done universality. Shelby, can you read this one for me, please?
They're being aware that they are not alone in having the problems they face.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. The biggest thing is to let people know that they're not alone, in which they're not, and they're not facing the problem alone. And people are always there to help get through with the other one. Okay, you guys done that one? Okay, next we're gonna move on to linkage with social workers. I know like everyone doesn't want to be a social worker, but there are things that social workers have to do with their person that they're handling to get through situations that's best for whoever they have and not like what's best for them. So social workers need to be aware of self-help groups available in their community so they can function as producers and case management, in making appropriate referrals for clients. So you can't send someone, well, okay, I used to work at a counseling center, so we were an outpatient counselor, we wasn't inpatient. So people like would call and like the things that we provided was like substance abuse, what else did we do? Domestic violence and things in that sort. And people would call and ask whether we inpatient or outpatient, and I would like to say outpatient because inpatient we can't take anyone that needs inpatient like counseling because that's just not what we do. You can't stay or any sort. You have to just come and leave and get your service and leave, and that's about it. So social workers have to know different self-help groups that they're dealing with. The second one is needs knowledge about how self-help groups function so that they are and work with synergy rather than in competition of such programs. A lot of times social workers kind of will go against like certain programs which doesn't help for their clients. A lot of people don't help, a lot of social workers sometimes don't help any at all or if at all. Or they kind of give the program a hard time of what their client needs, but you can't, the best thing to do is just to work with the program rather than go against them or in such cases like that. And then also, social workers should work as consultants. And that's basically pretty self-explanatory. Very good questions is professional assistance. Most people that do these self-help groups are professionals, and he gives a list of why they should be professionals and not just anyone coming in. The first one is help arrange a meeting place. The second one is help locate funds. The third one is refer members to the group. The fourth one is arrange or provide training of members and leaders. 5, accept referrals from groups. 6, help provide credibility with professional community and within the community. So these are all like things that these people need and that professionals can help them with to get through the situation or to help encounter their problem and overcome their problem. Okay, so basically, to sum that all up, members often like benefit from support and advice of their peers, just like you and I. We learn a lot from our peers. The benefits also advantage like improve their self-esteem. The third one is common feelings, the common feeling of belonging. So if you feel like you belong there or you have a sense of belonging, then you're able to get out more, get your feelings out more, and overcome your situation. And then there's like a couple of facts here. Those who share a common shame and stigma can come together without judging and to provide an instant identity and community. Through participating, they can enhance their social skills, promoting their social rehabilitation. They can explore and learn to understand to combat the shame and stigma together, re-enhancing their self-esteem. And so basically the last thing I want to leave you guys with is they are not alone and they are not the only ones facing the problem. So that's like the biggest thing that self-help groups would like love to, at the end of the day, to let their clients know that they're not alone, they're not facing the situation alone. Like I said, I worked at a counseling center. I was the secretary and assistant, and sometimes like the people would just come in and just like start talking without me even asking questions. They're like talking about their day, and if someone like came in like with a bad day or they look like they've been down, sometimes I would like make jokes like to lift them up a little, and then some would just tell me how their jobs went and how like their crazy wives or crazy baby mamas or whatever have been. And after a while, I worked there for like a couple months, and after a while I just finally got the idea like that, I mean obviously something wrong with them because they're there, but sometimes some of them just need love. They just need someone to talk to. They just need someone to listen, someone to be in their corner sometimes. And we all need that every day. Like, we actually have it. And so that's the difference between you guys and them. We actually have it and we use it. And in that case, they don't. But I don't think there's, like, something, in my opinion, I don't think there's, like, something, like, extremely wrong with them. They just need someone in their corner sometimes. Like, you never know what someone is going through, so it shouldn't, like, you can't judge someone just because they think differently than you or they live differently than you. So, that is the end of that.
We have another exercise.
Oh, yeah, we do. And they're gonna have you guys to do every time.
Alright, so I talked a little bit about the definition of a self-help group, and basically it's whenever you have a common problem and you're gonna solve it, so that's what y'all are gonna do. Don't open these up yet. And I apologize in advance for anyone who is coordinatively challenged, because we are gonna be throwing these across the room for 2 minutes to mix them all up. So. You'll get finished.
Need the drum cross and then come on.
Okay. And go.
Okay. We're just throwing it. We're on.
Can't like this.
Ryan. It's on the floor, you have to keep throwing.
I think we can see your.
Alright, okay. Everyone should have one. It's
Okay. Now, I want everyone to open their stuff, and you'll all have a word, and you all are gonna put it together into a sentence.
All.
Nice scripture.
It's
It's a scripture.
Okay, you guys can show you.
Okay, now you have to get it ordered. And then face the camera.
You start. Who has cans? I can.
I got this things.
Who's got like the name? Oh, you have the name? Okay.
Everybody just kneel down on the floor.
Yay!
Y'all get down.
I'm after you.
Yeah. Take a picture.
I'm smiling. I got one.
It's on there.
You want me to?
Hey, everybody. One, two, three.
Okay, hang on just a second. Let me get one too. This is awesome.
Y'all look adorable.
Y'all do it. I look so cute.
It's taking its time.
We're figuring it out. Living you there.
Gotcha.
We're like, right.
Good job.
Okay. So not only is that one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible, I think it pertains to us not only as Christians, but to us going into any kind of helping profession. Basically, especially with self-help groups, in the face of adversity, Christ gives us strength to face what we need to face and carry on. So I thought we could all apply that, and it's a good way to end our self-help group.
Oh, okay. Now, the tricky thing. All right, now you guys can open up your little thingies. Uh-oh. That's the thing. Uh-oh. All right, so well, we're going to do it Friday, but on Monday, we're going to actually do a self-help group. So, with these that you have homework, and please do it. It'll only work if you do it. Okay, so the assignment is to go home, look up someone, find like a video or an article on someone who has your disorder or your problem situation, whatever you have, is to look it up, write down their name, only first name, no last name, first name, and write a brief description of their story. Write it down because you have to turn it in. And then Monday, you have to be that person in the self-help group that we're going to have. So, make sure you do it. Remember, no last name, just first name. And you just have to be that person when you come in. I don't think anyone has the same rule. I think two people have the same thing. Crestview, you're going to be in the self-help group also. Okay, and that is your homework assignment. Please do it. It can be a YouTube video or an article, whatever. Just find something on a story or something.
I don't think I have to look this one up.
Yeah, I know. It's all I know. It's all
A ringer.
Okay, so that is your homework assignment. Please do it.
Okay.
If you guys forget, on Monday we're gonna post it on the Facebook wall. So.
Okay, before you get up, chapter 8, exercises are only 3 of them. I mean, there may be 2 questions to answer on each one. So would you just go into the book and do them and turn those in on Monday? I'm not gonna make a copy of it because I didn't do it already, so it just go in. I posted on Facebook so you can look it up. But there's only 3, it's 8.1, 8.2, and 8.3 exercise. So if you'll just do that for Monday too, for me. And the other exercise is also an objective exercise, so don't just blow it off because they ask you to do it. Look up whoever you're supposed to look up. I'll give you credit for doing it, that's all. It's just a pass-fail thing.
All right.
Any questions? I have, I printed out grade sheets. So here's one more exercise. You got time?
Yeah.
Line up by alphabetical order, last names, without speaking.
Without speaking.
Non-verbal,
Did you say last name?
last names. Alphabetical order. This will make it so much simpler for me. You can use your hands, just not your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, they got you on this stuff.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You don't know.
Oh, sorry.